Hey guys, Brian from WorkshopAddict.com, and we have always said that these three Milwaukee M12 fuel ratchets are our favorite tools for the shop. We love working on cars, and these guys make it simple and easy. Milwaukee has now come out with an upgraded extended reach model, and this dude is going to solve a lot of the problems that we've had working on cars. And let's just take a quick step back. I'm going to show you a good example of exactly why we like this tool. All right, so a prime example of this is this engine mount that we have up here. There's a bolt going into our LS3. I'm not sure that you guys can see it. This is the standard Milwaukee Fuel 3/8, and it's kind of an odd angle, but there, we are on the bolt. This is going to be too tight for this ratchet, but to get our fingers in or our hands around to use it, we are in an odd angle, and that's just one example of how these tools can be used in that way, but aren't always the most comfortable or aren't the right tool. We get our extended reach out, much easier to get on the bolt, and we have full function of our hand in that situation and more control, which is going to lead to getting a job done faster and easier. So there was probably a lot of elbows and arms in the way there. I hope that you can get a little sense of what this extended reach can help you with. I really like using this in those tighter spaces because it gives me more control. Obviously, everything you can think of is there, but even when you're not in those tighter spaces, you get the benefit of a longer ratchet that's going to have less snap, and you're going to have more control over the torque that's happening here. Now this is the 3/8 model, 55 foot-pounds. It runs at about 200 RPM. They also make a 1/4 inch model that goes to about 40 pounds and I believe runs at 250 RPM. So it's a little bit faster, a little bit less torque, which is exactly what you want for a 1/4 inch model. We absolutely love this for interior work or even just small stuff like changing out intakes, different things like that. But I want to tell you, a lot of people come at us and say, hey, can I use this on larger bolts, or is this going to take the place of an impact wrench? Do I want to get the compact impact wrench or not? No, guys, these are ratchets. They do not impact at all. They may sound like they do, but they're basically just going to spin the nut off or bolt off, and you do not get a pounding action when you use this. So if you want something that is going to be smaller like this and an impact style, they do make right angle pneumatic impacts. This is a 1/2 inch model from Ingersoll Rand. It is significantly more powerful than any of these here. It takes a lot of air and it's fairly expensive as it's a professional tool, but it gives you the power in those small places if you need it. These got all the power you need for the average stuff that you're doing. Every once in a while we will find ourselves loosening a bolt by hand just to allow this to start working, or we'll use this to loosen the bolt and then get things going. Either way, I wouldn't live without these because they can make a job a lot less stressful when you have your hand in an area and you're just sitting there for 5 minutes trying to get that bolt out. These will do it in 30 seconds. That's what makes them one of our favorite tools out there. If you don't have one of these, pick it up. The other question that everyone asks, what size do I want to get? Do I want to get the 1/2 inch? Do I want to get the 3/8? Do I want to get the 1/4? I'm going to try to answer that now. If you work in very small stuff, 10 millimeter, constantly and below, this 1/4 inch is great. But at the same point, there is a significant size difference between the 1/4 and 3/8. So you can get this 1/4 into a lot different places. If you are out there, both this 3/8 and 1/2 are both right around 55 foot-pounds. I think this 1/2 might be 60, don't quote me, but either way, size difference here between 1/2 and 3/8, there is none. So when you're looking, think about what you're going to use these for. Look at the size sockets that you have, look at the different variety of short and deep well sockets that you have, and pick the one that's going to work for you. What I find 90% of the time, 3/8 is what I'm grabbing because it's what I'm going to be using for alternators. It's what I'm going to use for power steering pumps, intake manifolds, all that stuff. and that's my most common thing that I'm working on. Interior wise, if I'm doing something, or intake wise, it's nice to have the 1/4 inch, but those bolts are also usually shorter and I can zip them off pretty easy just doing it by hand. So choose what you're doing and working on. If it's a lot of intakes and small stuff, get the 1/4 because it is significantly smaller than the other two. Same is going to go when you go to the extended version. I do not have the 1/4 extended version. I'd like to see it, but I assume that it is significantly smaller on the head than this 3/8. Either way, look at the pictures and maybe I'll try to get one to put that up on social media just to show you guys. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for hanging in here. Thank you for supporting us. It's always nice if you guys click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave us your comments. I always love to hear from you guys. Let me know what projects you're working on. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.